Okay, let's go figure out for Canvas, or HTML Canvas axis orientation, Canvas coordinates. Because I think the SVG and Canvas, let's see, the upper left corner of the canvas has coordinates 0, 0. As I go to the right, it gets bigger, and as I go down, it gets bigger. Okay, so as I go to the right, the x value gets bigger, and as I go down, the y value gets bigger. Okay. Then SVG axis, what did I search? Coordinates, orientation, orient. Orient attribute indicates how a marker is rotated when it is placed. Use. Yeah, I don't care about that. Okay. Okay, that's not what I care about. Yeah, so I want my axes to look like this, where bigger is to the right and bigger is going up. Flip SVG coordinate system. Is there a way to flip the SVG so that 0, 0 is in the lower left instead of the upper left? Yes. I have done a lot of experimentation, and the only logical method is as follows. G transform translate 0, 400 scale 1, -1, where 400 is the height of the image. G? What the hell is G? What this does is move everything down so the top of the image is now and the bottom of the image. Then the scale flips the y-coordinates so that it is now off the page, so that the bit that is now off the page is flipped back up to fill the space left behind. Do you need to first translate? I've already accomplished that through the view box equals something. These operations can be combined with that, but now the text is upside down. You can use a single matrix transformation instead of separate translate and scale transformations to flip the y-axis. G transform 1, 0, 0, -1, 0, 400, 400 being the height of the image. How did you fix, @Felix, how did you fix the upside down text problem? Best all-around combo I've found is for transforming Cartesian coordinate system. It's pretty simple. Display flex. Flip the vertical axis, scale y to emulate Cartesian. Reflip all of the text element descendants to their original side up. SVG, G, what is this? transform, translate, transform, translate. There, there. Okay, that's cool. So we'll auto unflip all the text element on the page via the CSS scale -1. Text G transform. Where's the scale? Must be over here? No? What? I am confused. svg.cartesian display flex. This must be CSS, which it says, okay. So a separate CSS file, and then this HTML, SVG. Where does it include the CSS? I don't see it including the CSS. But somehow this seems to work. Transform text. So the CSS says if we have svg.cartesian g, what does this one mean again? Then, svg g, is that a G within a G? It is. This is an example of plotting 2 points. Circle radius 1, circle radius 0.5, -50, -50. View box. -100, -100, 200, 200. Alright, what's a view box? View box. HTML, SVG, view box. View box is an attribute that defines the blah blah blah, minimum x, minimum y. Okay. So, minimum x is -100, minimum y is -100. This does not look like this is the same as this. width and height. Oh. Okay, so negative 100 and then 200 from there. It should be equal distance here, and it looks like it is. And then same thing here, should be equal distance. Okay. And defines the position and dimensions of the viewport for an SVG graphic. It consists of 4 values which control what part of the SVG canvas is visible and how it is scaled. Where does the scale come in? Number. Marker viewbox. The viewbox attribute defines the position and dimension in user space of an SVG viewport. Okay, so just position and dimension. The value is a attribute of that is a list of 4 numbers separated by white space and or a comma. Oh, that's what that. Okay, so the question mark. So this is whatever that notation is. So the question mark is for the comma. Number. Okay. Min y x represent the smallest x and y coordinates box. So I want 0, 0 with height. And preserve aspect ratio. Okay. So I maybe just want an SVG with viewbox 0, 0, viewport width, viewport height, and then some SVG to go along with it. I don't know what flex has to do here, but we transform scale y -1. And then if we need to, we can flip the text. So this is anything under SVG. Oh, what does that mean? SVG, or sorry, no. CSS selector greater than. CSS selector is used as a child combinator selector which selects only the direct children of a specified parent component. For example, div p, div greater than p will select all the p elements that are direct children of div. Cool. And I think that means not grandchildren. Blah, blah, blah. That's too much. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Child combinator, sometimes mistakenly called the direct descendant combinator. That means blah, blah, only matches paragraphs of some class that are nested directly inside div and not many paragraphs that are nested further, not any paragraphs that are nested further. Wait, this implies that every element matching this also matches this. Yeah, okay. With the descendant combinator, so the two are understanding. Wait, only matches paragraphs that are nested directly inside a div. That means the selector blah only matches. Oh, here it is. Okay, so is the child combinator sometimes mistakenly called the direct descendant combinator? Child combinator? Child combinator. Okay. And I think is the child combinator selector. Whoops. I guess that's fine. Parent child. Okay, cool. So, taking that together, we have any G that is directly below an SVG with the Cartesian class has a scale Y transform -1. So this SVG has this G directly below it. Can I just scale Y on the SVG directly? Do I need to have the G? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's go back here. Okay, so let's go back. Oh yeah, so inputs are still highlighting, so I must be scrolled down a bit. Yeah, inputs are still highlighting. That's great. I'm going to go back here and change this back. So where's the Y value? Here. So I actually like the Y value from here better. Extract text no longer needs the page height. Okay. Whoops. Okay, so we're going back. app.cljs. Oops. app.cljs. No, I don't want to switch to Kitty. Says no. Text highlight. Oh, did I call it highlight text? Yes, I did. Okay. Here. Yeah, actually, wait a minute. Where's the SVG? Here. So view box. Is that a style? No, it's an attribute. Okay. Let's go here. View box is 0, 0. Zero, zero. Scaled viewport. So I think I want Okay, so this width is no longer being used. Width. And same thing with the height. Let's do here. Height. Okay, and don't need that anymore. And we should be able to do width, height. Do I have stir join? I do not. What is that? closure.string as stir join. Okay. So that should be good. And then I want to try transform scale y. So this does go in here. So maybe in here I can do transform scale y -1. Maybe I won't be able to do that. Can I, how would I figure that out? I really hope I can just make it so that the SVG has the same coordinate system as the PDF. Oh, I should just ask the AI if I can do that. I'll do that if this doesn't pan out. SVG flip coordinate y-axis. I think that's basically what I already searched for. Flip, you can use transform, the scale, transform whatever. Can I do that directly on the SVG tag? SVG, it looks like no. It looks like they always have that G thing inside. The G element groups shapes and applies a transform scale. Huh. What are the effects of flipping the y-axis? Can I flip the y-axis by putting scale, what is that? Scale, transform equals scale. Oh. This should be here. Transform scale y -1. Okay, I think that won't work. I think I have to also do a G here. F. In the chat. Can I put the scale, can I put the transform on the SVG tag directly instead of in the the G tag, instead of as an attribute of the G tag? Transform, by putting the transform on the SVG tag directly as an attribute of the SVG tag directly instead of as an attribute of the G tag. Say hello. Okay. Here's how you can do it. transform, shifts the contents down to stay within view. Okay. Can I do the scale and the translate both on the SVG tag directly? Okay, transform is equal to translate scale. Okay, and I think that's what somebody else showed in here somewhere. Transform scale. At 2020. Okay. Well, let's see if this pans out. So we got width, height, transform, scale. Scaled viewport, width, height, height, view box, transform, transform, scale, translate, height. Alright, let's see what happens. Oh, so close. Wait. Alright, let's go look at what exactly got created. Alright, so we got style, width 612, height 792, view box 00612 792, scale -1, translate that. Did that work? Now I'm really confused. So then this thing, SVG, rect. So this rectangle has an x value of 97, a y value. Why isn't that way up at the top? Height 12. I mean, all that looks good, but this should be up at the top, right? Translate 792. So this all seems to be working correctly, except the y value still. I don't understand why the y value is wrong. Does this do anything? No, it doesn't. Okay. So the translate just isn't doing anything, and maybe the transform is also not doing anything. Yeah, okay, so that's just not doing anything. I see. Well, that's good, I guess. G transform translate. Hold on, what did I? Scale Y. I'll just take this. Actually, I'll do that, yeah. Delete. And G. Okay, so now we have G with a transform and then a highlight text. Let's see what that does. Nope, that didn't do anything. Do I have the right stuff in here? Div, SVG, G. Okay, transform, scale, Y, translate. Again, I think this is just not doing anything. Do I have it on the wrong thing? Scale, SVG, what do I do? Here, here. Oh no, did I close it? No, here it is. Okay. So here they have class Cartesian, view box, whatever, G. And then here on G, oh, it's in a style. Okay. Yeah, okay, I'll try it in a style here, style, and then I'll try it on the SVG directly. Nope, that didn't work. Rect. Do I have a style? G. Am I doing the style wrong? Transform, scale Y, -1. I might be doing the style wrong. What did this say? Yeah, I think this is just not true. Thanks, AI. Minute, why doesn't the style tag show up? So here this style shows up, but this style does not. Why? Refresh. What? Okay, I'm gonna go back and ask Aider. I am trying to flip the y-axis of the SVG tag, trying to, how do I, how can the SVG coordinate system be modified to match the PDF coordinate system? The SVG coordinate system initially starts off with 0, 0 in the upper left corner. The y-axis of the SVG coordinate system grows downwards. The coordinate system of the PDF starts in the lower left corner. The y-axis grows upwards in the y-axis. I've tried applying transforms to the SVG tag, but I haven't gotten it right. Please help explain how to make a SVG coordinate system flip and translate by the flip the y-axis and translate by the height of the PDF page. Alright. The order matters. Damn it. Okay. Alrighty. To flip the SVG coordinate system to... Wait a minute. Then it should be off the page entirely. Wait. Okay, I don't know. To flip the SVG to match PDF coordinates, you need to put You need two transforms applied together. Scale the y by -1. Translate the y by the height. The order matters. In SVG are applied right to left. So you write them left to right in the order that you want them conceptually applied, last to first. The correct transform on a G wrapping your content, G transform stir scale. Isn't that what I did? Okay, so they have it not in a style. I think I tried that already. Yeah, okay. And they also have scale. 1, -1. 1, -1. Your content here. My content here. Is highlight text? No, it's not. Okay, what about highlight? Is that doing anything with flipping things around? No. The correct transform, what this does step by step, translate 0 negative height, shifts everything up by height applied first. Scale -1, 1, flips the y-axis applied second. That seems wrong. Models. Model. Sonnet 4.6. Let's try that again. Model. Okay. Swap the order. Translate, then scale. Okay. Wait, hold on. Let's read this more thoroughly. Well, no, let's try that. Go this. Okay, yeah. So translate, then scale, and we'll get rid of that. And we'll go like that. There it is. Okay. Okay, now let's read that more thoroughly. Flipping to match. Actually, do I even need then? Can I put this transform on here? Maybe. I guess I still need the G. Okay. Not super clear why I need that G. Okay, so flipping the SVG coordinate system to match PDF coordinates. A PDF coordinate has origin at the bottom left from y with y growing upward. SVG has origin at the top left with y growing downward. You need two operations. Scale y by -1. This flips the y-axis. Translate by negative height. Yes, this shifts the origin from top left to bottom left. The key insight: when you apply scale blah blah blah, the entire coordinate system flips. Everything that was positive y is now at negative y offset, off screen, above the viewport. Yes, you need to bring it back down, translating by the negative height. Negative because now the y-axis points the other direction. In your page component, you already have a G with a transform. The correct approach is SVG width, height, view box. Okay, we got SVG width, height, view box. I guess we could put these on the same line. And maybe we don't need this. Not clear. Okay, and then G has a transform of translate that. Everything inside here uses PDF coordinates correctly. Why this order matters. SVG transforms are applied right to left, like matrix multiplication. So first, I'm flipping the y-axis, then I'm moving everything that I just flipped. Yeah. So I flip the y-axis, and then I slide it up or down, depending on how you look at it. Let's see. So if I first flip everything, yeah, I'm sliding it up. Yeah, I'm sliding it up, not down. What did it say? Everything that was positive y is now at a negative y, off screen above the viewport. Yeah, you need to bring it back down by translating it by the negative height. Okay. I think of it differently, I guess. SVG transforms are applied right to left. Okay, so first we scale it, first we flip it, then we slide it back up. Yeah. Okay. Scale, flip y, a point at PDF xy becomes x negative y. Okay. Then translate 0h, shift down. Well, shift the axis down. Maybe that's what they mean. We're shifting the axis down. Yeah, that much I agree with. This is exactly the PDF to screen mapping. Screen y is equal to page minus PDF y. Your current code's issue. In your current code, you have that. This applies in the reverse order. Yeah, okay. We slide it further away from the axis, and then flip the axis, which puts it in the right orientation, but just above, or yeah, just outside, above. I'm going to call above up here, with the cutoff here, like everything above here is just outside the view box, viewport. Why is view box and viewport? Man, why do they have different names for the same exact thing? That's so annoying. This applies in reverse order. First translate by height, then flip. So a point at that becomes that, yeah, just outside of the view area and above it, in the final orientation above it, I guess, which puts everything off screen above the viewport. Oh, actually says above the viewport there. Okay. So when they said sliding downwards, they must mean sliding the axes downwards. Swap the order to translate, then scale. Right. Okay. Also match the view box to the PDF coordinate space. If you set the view box to the unscaled PDF dimensions, you can place elements using raw PDF coordinates without manually scaling anything. The SVG will handle the scaling to the display size automatically. I don't understand that last point. Height. But I should now, down here, the text should still highlight. So if I click there, yeah, the text highlights. Cool. I will make a commit out of that. And that basically undoes some of the work of the previous commit. Let me review it. Bring in stir, width height, with px, and we have SVG style width height. Cool, same width and height as for the page wrapper, and the transform happens. Okay, and then here we're switching this back to the normal, or the Y that we had before, and I no longer need to get the page height, and so I no longer need to send in the page height. Yeah, okay. Make SVG coordinate system Cartesian like same as PDF coordinate system. Okay, and that is this. Did it not push? Running git push. Finished. Okay. Okay, cool. It's there now. So that is 4160D3B.